right, guys, welcome to tonight's Craft Ed. We had technical difficulties. We thought that Whip it was on his side and he couldn't hear me because when I got on, I did all my tests and I was working. Well, I took off my earphones and I must have hit the mute on my side. So poor Whip was doing everything he can, probably just making his computer worse. Sorry about that, Whip.
It's all good.
But let's see. I'm gonna head over to the chat and see what's going on. Well, before we say hi to everybody, I wanted to let you guys what we're going to do is these two things are cooked and they both came out amazing. I mean, just amazing. I absolutely love this frog. It looks super cool. But this octopus is so can't believe it. It just I thought we would paint these tonight and I was going to show you how I mix my paints and everything.
All
And
right.
then I also well, why don't you say hi to people and then I'll get on to how I'm going to create on these things.
All righty. Let me scroll back up since we were a little late getting on. We got further up to go. It looks like Zenny was the winner with number one in the house.
Congrats, Zins. You win this. Hi, Zen. I go all out.
Sean Chadwick is here and Cheryl Smith. I'll be back closer to start time. Seville Steve and Miss Dee Dee and Uncle Smiley and Jenna P. Miss Dee Dee. And then a bunch. Hey, there's Pep. Hey, Pep.
Awesome.
And we're going to scroll and scroll and scroll. Stephen P. Chris Aquazone. Hello, Master. Larry D. Chili Head Aquatics. He's got Chili Head back in the title.
Oh, nice.
I like it. I like it a lot. We got Jacob
Well, nuts.
McAfee. And
I see Sleeper Barbecue.
there's Denny.
Lance.
Hello, hello.
Good day, Denny. You know
Tony.
what? I saw that Sean. Oh, there it. No, yes. Let's see. Thank you, Sean, for the super chat. I don't know what the sticker is, but thank you so much for the $3 super chat. I saw that when I was going in, and I was here a few minutes before Whip, and I may have made Jenna P a mod, or I may have deleted her from chat. I'm not for sure. I don't know if I modded her, as in I did her in, or if I made her a mod.
Well, all right.
So if Jenna P could say hi at some point during the show, that would be awesome. Because otherwise, I'd feel terrible if I got rid of her.
She said, if we send Whip some Sculpey, can he craft simultaneously with Ed, and then we compare the two at the end of the stream?
That'd
But
be awesome.
that was at 9:37. Oh, so only a couple minutes ago. I think you're safe. And she is modded. She is blue.
Oh, awesome.
Sleeper barbecue. Hey, sleep. What's going on? I think that might be everybody. Let me just scroll a little far. Oh, nope. There's Foxy.
I see my sweet Oinky is in the house too.
Nancy B. I haven't
Hey,
come across
Nancy.
Oink yet. Jenna Foxy. Well, there she is. There's the
Oh.
Oink Master.
So one thing, last week I started with a piece of PVC like this. Hey, do you mind if I make me bigger?
You go
Let's see
right
if I can
ahead. We got
figure
to
out
be
how to
able to see
do.
what we're looking at.
Where'd you go?
You made yourself so big I got lost.
Yeah, but you should be in that side.
I'm not. There
Oh,
I
there we
is.
go.
Hey!
Oh, and you know what? I'm going to drop the super chat because that might make the screen bigger. I don't know. But thank you so much, Sean. It really means a lot.
Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to see what that was. In the meantime, you go right ahead.
Okay, so last week I started off with just a simple PVC pipe. I've got a whole bunch of these. I'm going to try to make, my goal is to have 25 different caves for the Clash this year. I think last year I took about 15 and sold out. So we're going to bring, maybe I should try to do 30. I don't know. I got a whole bucket of them. But what I normally do before I go to this, I do the bottom of it to pin it down. And I take a torch and I only takes like 30 seconds of going in a circle around it. Then I put it in on a vise and I twist it real tight as the vise will go. And I get that just like that. And it's real hot. So I drop ice cubes in it. And if I see that there's the ice is dripping out, then I know there's a hole in it. But there was no ice drippage, so there's no hole in the bottom. So I squeezed it tight enough.
Cool, cool.
But
Just so you're aware, it was a green pigeon looking bird saying first bump. He's holding two signs. First bump.
like
First
this,
bump. Yeah, kind of.
thanks, man. And you were the first bump. Thank you. Well, so last year I ran out of paint. And so I try all the paint is white. Just this is just white paint. It's a dry lock. So it's basically like a concrete. It's real thick, but it's safe for your fish tank. So Krylock, good. And what I do is there's not a whole lot of different dyes that are safe for your fish tank in the world. So this is one that is, but they only make it in a couple of colors. So basically I make all my colors from brown, red brown, and dark blackish gray. So like this is my light gray and this is my dark gray. And so what that does is it'll give me more than one tone when I'm painting it. And I find that a big key to making things look more realistic. You know, when you look at a painting, or if you look at my face, there's different shades of colors, the shadows and everything. So when you're painting, it's really good to have the same color, just a lighter version and a darker version. And then, of course, you can always use white also, which would be a base of it too. But we're not going to use white tonight. I used white on these heads, these what are they called? Axolotl heads. So, and then the dark gray is that color of the eyes that I did for it.
You
Just
know,
so
you
you know
need
how
to
dark it is.
you need to go get yourself a basketball and sculpt one around a basketball because apparently Foxy's axolotls have outgrown the ones you did.
Holy cow, that is crazy.
So she needs bigger ones.
Yeah. Well, how big of a fish tank has she got? Because maybe I could get like a strainer or something like that.
Or strainer, yeah,
Give
that
me,
would work.
give me some measurements, Foxy, because I've got a thing that now I can make the clay a lot thinner because it's like a roller and it pulls it real thin. And so that's a lot thinner than yours.
Okay, she has corrected me. She says she needs an axolotl tunnel now, not a cave.
Hmm.
But I've
Okay.
seen her adults are fatties. I
No,
mean,
that's awesome.
they're as big around as that PVC pipe you're playing around with there.
What you want to make them happy so they have lots of babies. And she's doing a good job. Okay, so I need 2 shades of brown. Because right now I have this is
How do
my
you
red.
Are you adding white to make the different shades of black, I assume?
Well, I've got the white.
Correct, but you said you had two shades of gray, dark and light. How did you make one dark and one light? What was the trick?
It's the amount of this stuff I put in it. And I just want to make sure I put the right stuff in. Yeah, this is the terracotta. So my red is actually terracotta, which I like. And you can use that red with the brown too, and it goes very nice. But I don't put much of this in. I mean, this is going to last me a lifetime. Actually, I probably should shake it up.
Shake it up, baby. Now, Foxy says Duke is 14 inches long.
Holy cow!
Yeah, I've seen pictures or video of him. He's a tank.
Now, who is Duke married to?
I don't think he doesn't have a sweetheart anymore, does he, Foxy? The one he had him with was a little bit too rowdy for him or something.
Oh. Okay, so I just poke a hole in the top of the can, so it's just going to drip out. And let me. Okay. I think I need more than that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to stir this. And if it comes out too light, I add some more. Pretty basic stuff. And where did my stir go? I just had my stir. Oh, there it is. And hi to Uncle Bruce, if you're watching, Uncle Bruce.
Hi, Uncle Bruce.
So tomorrow.
Duke is single but looking.
That's awesome. It's probably rough to look for a girlfriend when you're in a 10-gallon fish tank by yourself.
I think he's in a 40, I'm guessing.
Oh, good. Well, maybe you can find some girl wandering in.
At 14 inches, he'd be bigger than the tank in a 10.
Yeah, good point. Check it out. See, it's mixing.
It is mixing. I don't know if that's the angle you want us to be looking at, though.
Look at how fast my hands are going.
Man,
I look just like one of those professional machines. I got to add more.
And what color are we going for here?
We're going for a dark brown, and that's like a really
It's almost a
milk dark
skin
chocolate milk.
color. Oh,
Yeah,
well, then
it
doesn't
is.
look like
Skin. Okay, this time I added twice as much as I did last time, so now it's got
Hi, Holly.
more kick. Did you guys? Has anybody seen the Jurassic Park new movie? I did yesterday, and the movie cup is the coolest movie cup I've ever gotten at a movie theater. Check this out, and it's actually rubber over plastic, so it's like insulated. It has cool teeth and a cool eye. It's awesome.
Oinky says, "Don't be surprised if you see me on YouTube if my neighbors were filming me when I received my extra large Oscar plushie from Jenna and Steve, and I was waltzing in the driveway with it."
Oh my God, that'd be awesome. Man, I don't know. I think I might have to go darker yet.
Yeah, it's still looking kind of pinky, a little pink. You guys got to look at me with a terrible hairdo. I don't know what I do with my brush. Sorry, guys.
You know what? I'm going to leave this one like this and finish it. I'm going to leave it. What happened?
Mexicali is here. I don't know if we should continue. Should we just shut the stream down?
I don't know.
And I can't
Maybe we
believe
should just
how.
go to his channel because he's a lot cooler than us. If you guys get a chance to watch Mexicali, do it. Like, if you're just sitting at home and you're watching old Western movies on TV and you get a notification that Mexicali just randomly popped up, you're going to have a good time. Go check him out. It's awesome.
For sure and for sure. You can scroll back about a year and a half and even catch him interviewing me. Or a week ago and catch him interviewing our one and only Ed over here.
Yep. Or 3 weeks ago and see him interviewing Lance. I mean, Sleeper Barbecue. That's even more interesting because that guy's actually cooler than me and Whip.
Nah, he ain't cooler
Whip,
than you.
well, you know, actually, I shouldn't say that because Whip, I've never had his barbecue. So maybe you guys are equally as cool.
I can guarantee you, if we're basing coolness on barbecue, he's hands down winner.
I normally base it on coolness on levels of quality of food for me. You know what? I guess I could do this for now.
Yeah, instead of us watching you, it's so freaky.
It's really tiring.
You need one of the machines.
I know. Well, let's see. Lance, I mean, not Lance, but Sean gives me $3 a week. It seems like every week. Maybe I can afford one in 4 or 5 years.
Zenny says, "Who's
And
clipping that last part?"
it will put his name on it. But I like how this one's looking a lot darker. Oh, I remember what happened to one of my browns. I accidentally popped a hole in the top of the can.
Oh, well, that's probably bad. Did it all dry up on you?
Yeah, it did. So I like to go with the darker paint on the as the base paint. And then I go with the lighter shades over it.
Hold it
Let's
up
see
to
if
the
this
other one,
looks like
maybe.
chocolate milk. Oh yeah. Look at that's perfect. That's the color of my fish from last year. And so this will be, let's see how this looks as a comparison. See, they're the same
Yeah,
color, but one's just got a lot more white in it.
yeah, a lot later.
I may still have to make that lighter one a little darker. It might be just a hair too still light, but let's do this frog first. And what we're going to do is we're just going to cover the frog. Phew, man, my arms are tired. I got to get a drink. That's terrible. Phew. Now this stuff sticks like crazy. Like, because it's so thick, it doesn't run. And I'm just going over it. If I have to go over it twice, I will, you know, just to make sure that dark spot, see how it's all dark on the tail? This is one coat. Remember, look at how black it is and white, the difference.
Yeah.
Concrete paint is awesome. But it really sticks to your hands. It'll and it really will ruin your clothes too. That's why I did a craft edge shirt because I didn't want to ruin somebody else's shirt. But I totally forgot tomorrow is the 4th of July.
Yep.
And I normally do like holiday themed shows. I remember
Yeah,
last
last
year
year
we
I
did
think
red, white, and blue fish. Remember?
yeah. Yep.
So sorry, folks. Probably not the end of the world, but I really appreciate whose ideas. What the frog is Boots Cat's. Who is the octopus?
That's terrible. I know. I can picture it in my head. No,
Well,
I don't remember.
a lot of times I like to watch what everybody says after the chat, is over and I rewatch it. Last week I was so tired. I just I fell asleep pretty much right after the show, I think. Oh, I'll give you an update on my plumbing in my house. The plumber came out on Tuesday and just could not free the blockage to save his life. He spent like 3 hours, and then he came back today and spent another 5. And
Oh
this
no.
time we had to cut a hole. Oh, I guess I should have downloaded these photos. We had to cut a hole in my kitchen, like right behind the sink, because there's a space where he could get in there and get directly to the pipes. And what he did was he cut a thing in the side of the pipe, and he could hook this machine up and uh, force a whole bunch of air or something straight down the drainage, and he cleaned it out. But then he put his camera in there and ran it all the way through, and it looks like in our house, you're when you put your plumbing down, I've done it to a couple of houses, and it's why I'm not a plumber, because it's hard work. But you always want your sewer angling downwards from your house. What happens in our house is it angles down and then it goes back up from the kitchen sinks under the concrete. And so what happens is all the grease just builds up
Yeah.
in that 5
Why,
feet of
why would they?
hose.
Did it shift? It had to have shifted.
He,
Why would they do that?
well, he's saying it's either settling or the plumbers just didn't really know what they were doing when they built this house.
Yeah, I guess. J and N's here.
Well, hey there. Did I see
Kate.
TK Tropicals is here too?
No.
Hey TK.
And Mary Oliver.
Oh my gosh. Well, what I'm doing is I'm going to paint one side of this guy, and we'll show you what
Thank
one side
you.
looks like with paint and then one without. And then I'm going to go in with uh the colorations to show how I add like depth and make it look like real stone.
And there's Jeff Kane.
Jeff
Hello,
Kane
Jeff
is in the
Kane.
house. Well, I wanted to work on my men so bad, or all those guys, and I've worked on a couple, but I've got so many to paint and do. I didn't realize that when my dad's upstairs was flooding my kitchen, my dad took everything out of my kitchen and put it into my craft room. And so right now my craft room is like stacked like 2 feet into that room, and it's like, oh my gosh. My dad was real nice. He was all worried that he'd ruined my plastic Tupperware underneath my sink. And I'm like, Dad, it's plastic Tupperware. It can handle water overflowing on it.
I got. I didn't finish the video, but I'll have to do it tomorrow.
I got to
Hey,
get way up in there and paint up inside.
yeah, you do. You got to get all up in there.
I do. We got a little bitty one. Whoops. So tomorrow, though, is still the 4th of July, I totally forgot. And I have no plans for tomorrow. And my mom, and so I asked my mom, Dad, I was like, so do we got plans? Because normally my sister's family comes over and we have a big barbecue and maybe we go out to see a fireworks show. And my mom said that they're going to their friend's house to have a barbecue, just Dad and her. And Manya already had plans. So that means I just had to, I'm on my own tomorrow.
You gonna do anything, or are you gonna just kind of hang at home?
I'm thinking about going to Pizza Hut and buying a large combination pizza and just slowly eating it all by myself tomorrow. And I think I might watch a bunch of episodes or different Jurassic Parks because I think there's a Jurassic Park movie somehow I missed because I can't put one in, I don't, there's one I'm forgetting. But yeah, probably a boring day, but it'll be fun. Sometimes it's nice just to being away from everybody and have no responsibility to have to do anything for somebody else. Oh, but the plumber, the total bill was $625. And my dad said, you give any discounts for senior citizens or veterans? And he said, yeah. And they gave us two 15% off. So he gave us 30% off and charged us $400 for that many hours of work. I mean, that's with a plumber, that's pretty amazing. So we were pretty happy about that. And then my dad said, have you been doing this to this house every year since they built it? Or every 2 years? Because it pretty much takes 2 years to build up. And he says, yeah, we probably have. It's like, wow, that sucks.
Yeah. Hey, while you're painting there,
Yes.
Skipper just texted me. He says, "Dude, I'm
Oh,
still at the bar."
oh, well, that's cool. He's out having fun.
Yeah. Um, that's what happened to me last week. Um,
Well, he deserves
I
to
got
have
my
some good times.
I got my last Skipper's auction fish today. Hey, there's
Nice.
Nader. Hey, Nader.
And there's Jeremy,
We already said that.
my Kentucky Jeremy.
There's another Jeremy. That's Jane Ann, right?
Yes. Is that who you said for Nader?
No, Nader's Gills and Gardens.
Oh, okay. I was like,
Nate.
Nate,
But I
Nathan.
got my blue Phantom, my blue Phantom.
Oh, yeah. I remember you winning that.
Yeah, well, I didn't really have to win it. It didn't sell, so I circled back around and I said, "Hey, if you still wanting to sell that for 40 or 50 or whatever it was, I'll take it." And there's Miss June. Hello, hello.
Now, who was selling that? Was that Coro?
That
Or
no,
was he
that was Ross Baltimore. Oh, pardon me, that came out of nowhere. Ross Baltimore.
Baltimore? That's the other side of the other coast.
Yep, completely the other direction.
That's awesome. I haven't decided if I'm going to leave the rock on the front on this one or take it off because I've got a little thing I put on the front for balance. But normally I knock those off. But this one's so top heavy, I was thinking about leaving it.
Oinky says, "Don't forget, there's a 24-hour Twilight Zone marathon on Sci-Fi Channel."
You know, I haven't been to the Sci-Fi Channel in for years.
I
It
haven't
used to be
either.
my favorite channel.
Ever since they offered me channels that don't have commercials, I seldom watch anything else. Mary Oliver says Cheryl Smith, 3 and 4 year olds can't comprehend no electricity, fans, AC don't work. And it's get a bit warm, humid at 88. Don't mind darkness, flashlight equals fun. Sun coming from San Fran.
Ooh. Well, I'm
Yep.
outside basically right now. This is a porch with the windows open. And last week I was so hot, I had sweated completely through my shirt. That may have been another reason why I passed out right after the show. I've been getting real tired and actually going to sleep at a decent hour.
Oh, speaking of which, I tried to get you to call me the other day. Um, or if you were awake, I was going to call you. Miss Dee Dee sent me, instead of you, because she knows you don't check your email, a
This
intro.
is true. Oh, neat.
So I can, when I have your full attention, I will forward that to you so you can be watching for it and grab it before you forget and it sits in your inbox for 13 years or however long you've got got emails built up in there.
This is my very first email I've ever well, it's not my first. My first was called ed@rdr.com. It was RDR was a local internet service in Columbia, Illinois. It was awesome. That was the best internet I ever had, and that was years ago. But for some reason, there was nobody had a monopoly on the cable lines and internet in Columbia, Illinois, and so there was like 5 different local internet services. It was just like awesome. And it's like it was the best service in the world. I think but what happens is these big companies get monopolies on it and then they give you crappy service.
Yeah, they buy everything up and then they give you worse service than you had before. Oinky
I mean,
says,
I'm
"Whip,
literally
did you
oh, go
plan
ahead.
on watching the Marvel Ironheart series on Disney Plus? I don't even know what that is. Do you know what that is? Are you planning on watching that?
I'm not gonna watch it. It's the new Iron Man. So I don't like how Disney's taking so much of Marvel DEI and ruining it. Just a bummer. But
Hmm.
oh well.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to look. How did they ruin it? Should I ask?
Well, they got rid of Tony Stark. They should have just got a new character to be Tony Stark and keep having Iron Man.
Yeah, right.
You don't need to replace him with someone else.
Although that would have
And
been
I mean,
hard to replace him.
and then I found out just today that it sounded like um what's her the gal that was in Jurassic Park. Uh
Scarlett Johansson?
yes. Disney shafted her. She was going to be coming back after the her Deadwood or Black Widow movies, and they'd signed her to a $50 million deal, and then they only paid her like 20 of it or something, or paid a lot less, and she had to sue them, and they said that she would get half because she didn't make the movies, but she had signed up to do the movies. So I think that sucks because I want all my original characters.
Right.
I don't want anyone new. And I mean, her sister's okay, but she's kind of depressing. And she's just not the Black Widow, you know?
Right. Well, yeah, she's just not.
Okay. So he's drying. I am going to put the black paint or the dark one down the middle because I don't like it seeing white. And I
Yeah,
really
don't
think
you
that the
normally
fish,
spray some Crayon in there?
uh, I I used to, but now I've been just painting it with the concrete
Oh,
because I think that the fish prefer the bumpiness versus the smoothness is what I've noticed. That it seems like everybody who sent me a picture, it's always in ones that have the paint all the way down. So I don't know if maybe that if having it smooth makes it too slimy for them, or they just kind
yeah,
of like maybe the roughness helps them. I don't know, but this paint is real rough because it's like filled with sand.
probably more realistic, more
Yeah,
like grabbing
just
onto a
feels like
rock.
yeah. So now we're gonna take the brand new stuff, and I'm barely gonna use any. I'm gonna use one that looks like a round thing. And I was going to do this side, but you can't see this side. So let's see if I can. I'm just going to kind of smash it.
So Oinky asks, I'm going to rapid fire this. You don't have to necessarily reply to any of them. Oinky says, is
Sure.
everybody looking forward to Superman this coming Thursday? And then June followed that up with, since digital became popular, we don't even watch DVDs or Blu-ray anymore. I don't even know where my players are. And then Zenny says, yeah, because bringing in new people to play familiar characters has gone over really well. Yeah, Des. I don't know
Yep.
what RIRI Ironheart is 19-year-old female. Female. All right. Not that, whatever. I'm not going to get into that, but so
It's all good.
they're gender changing him, and unless it's a whole different guy, they're not calling him.
Oh, they're calling him Ironheart or Lionheart instead of Iron Man, but that's who's replacing him.
Okay, but he's
You
not.
know,
But they are going to be Iron Man. It's kind of
right?
like
Iron Man is gone.
right. All right. So then it's not so bad.
Well, yeah. I don't like how they're gender swapping everybody though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they
I mean,
did
that's
with
been the real
Silver and
yeah. Well, and that's the real big fight right now with the X-Men because they wanted to literally gender swap every one of them.
yeah,
So
that'll go over
I don't
great. Hey,
see a
fish
boy Rogue.
drinks.
Rogue has to be a girl. It just she has to be.
There's Miss Dee Dee.
But I mean, hey, they bought it. They can do what they want.
Yeah. Well, they're certainly doing that.
Yep.
I was telling John today in their stream, I'm like, yeah, like they made the twins different species, different races. I mean, how are they twins if they're not even the same race? What the hell
But
is
you
going
know
on?
what?
What's happening?
I do. There is one saving grace to the girl Silver Surfer is it is in a different multiverse, and somehow I think the Fantastic Four's world is going to be destroyed, and they have to come to our world to survive. I think
Um,
so. If you know, then I have no problem with as long as there's a really cool Silver Surfer in our universe.
Larry D says they can't have my money. And June says she can be whatever she identifies with. So I've been told. And
Yep,
there was
and
Cat
I can keep
House.
my money.
Cat House says they can waste their money however they want.
Yep,
They keep
but
trying the Fantastic Four and it just keeps blowing up in their face.
yeah. Well, I gotta say, I do think that they're really going a different route with this one, so it'll be interesting. But
I
yep.
wonder if they're going to acknowledge like the storyline from what was that, like 2005 or whatever it was? I don't even know, but it was in the 2000s, right? When the Silver Surfer was first brought over.
Oh, you mean in the movie storyline? Because the Silver
Yeah.
Surfer's been around since the
No, no, no.
probably
I'm
the
talking in
70s or
Marvel,
60s.
Marvel comic book movie, the MCU.
Yeah, I don't.
You know,
You know,
because they've kind
and
of grabbed hold of, you know, how they made Hulk and then the Incredible Hulk. Was there a third one? No, it was just Banner or the current guy. But they seem to have glommed onto the Norton Hulk. They brought
oh
back they
yeah, the
brought
Ed
back
Norton.
yeah, yeah, a lot of the storyline from that one in the Red Hulk movie.
Oh well, I think Ruffalo's Hulk is supposed to be the same Hulk as Ed Norton's Hulk, and I like Norton, or I like Ruffalo better than Norton.
I do too.
I just, I think
He's a
ever since
better
I saw
actor.
Fight Club, I just don't like him.
I've never really cared for him. I mean, he's kind of an awkward looking guy, and he's a
Yeah,
good actor and everything. But I don't look at him and say, "Oh yeah, that dude can totally Hulk out." Norton is
yeah,
weird. As
he
June
looks
says.
more like a little skinny guy. I don't know,
Yeah, I have the same issue with the guy that
but
plays
I
Brody.
the guy who plays the new Hulk, Ruffalo, he's amazing. I love
Yeah,
all the original Avengers. And, you know, and I'm down, I shouldn't be down on Disney because if it wasn't for Disney, we'd have never had all that good stuff. You know, the first 30 movies were all amazing. So I should just be happy that they had 30 good movies in a row before they destroyed the franchise. I mean, that's pretty awesome. You know,
varying
with
degrees
Star
of
Wars,
awesome, but yeah.
in Star Wars, we only had like 6 good movies before it all went to hell.
Yeah, even six might be stretching it.
Well, yeah, those first 3 I didn't like until I saw the Disney versions or new ones, and it was like all of a sudden the 1, 2, and 3 got really good. I liked Attack of the Clones though. That was pretty good. Okay, so this time, I need to shuffle mix this.
2007 is when the Silver Surfer made the first appearance. Cat House says, "I just wish the last Venom movie was better." Well,
Yeah,
the last Thor movie too. Yeah, that Love and Thunder was, oh, that was a little cringy.
well, I was really down on that one, and I'm so glad that they didn't keep her as Thor. Uh, gosh, Natalie Portman. Natalie Portman really made me mad because really she was the biggest controversial, should I say, actor in those movies because she signed a 3-movie deal and then she was mad that she wasn't a superstar or a superpower guy. Well, don't sign a contract if your character is a love interest and not the superhero.
Right.
And she like refused to do a couple movies and everything, and I was getting all stressed out that they may not keep doing Thor movies just because of her, which is crazy. I
Well,
shouldn't
as
get
it
stressed
turns
out
out,
about
they
things like
probably
that.
should have stopped at least one before they did.
Well, I'm in hope that there will be another good Thor movie because that guy is a freaking awesome actor. He's or a super Thor.
Unky
Gosh,
says,
I can't.
"Holy hell! There was a lifetime of unwanted screaming goat humor in Thor: Love and Thunder." Yes, I don't. There was a lot of that movie I didn't quite get. Why they did what they did.
Well,
I liked a lot of it. Don't get me wrong. I did. I've watched it multiple times. It's not like I hated it, but it was my biggest problem with it. And my buddy and I talk about this all the time. Is why do they have to make Thor out to be this idiot, this
yeah,
comic idiot? He's not either of those things. If anything, he's too stoic in most of the comics. So they kind of went the wrong way with him. But
well, the
June likes
Thor Love
Superman
and
best.
Thunder was it? Oh, Superman?
Yeah, Superman. The only reason he's not my favorite is because he's just so overpowered that, and then his fans are always like, "Oh, he's gonna beat up everybody. It doesn't matter who he's fighting." Like, come on.
And it's true.
You pull him away from the yellow sun, he's a man. He get his ass kicked.
Well, like Stan Lee hated or magic back in the 50s and the 60s in comic books before uh you had science added, with mutations in
Melvin,
the X-Men. It was magic, and he was immune, or he had no immunities to magic. So magical people could beat up Superman back in the 50s and 60s, but they really got away from magic in comic books when they started getting into science.
when
Just a weird fact.
HHD, hello, hello, hello.
HHG. Well,
Either Jake
um,
or Katie, one of the two of you, or both. Yeah, I always tell people that when they say, "Oh no, Superman would kick it," that guy's. I said, all it would take is Heidel to pull him, hit him with the Bifrost and take him to some place that doesn't have a yellow sun.
or
Now what? What
have
are you gonna
him
do now,
meet
pal?
a Ghost Rider. Ghost Rider's magical and has unbreakable chains. He can make him see his fear, make him go crazy. And
Yeah.
Ghost Rider is pretty much indestructible. He's almost too powerful, too.
Oh, and you got the Scarlet Witch, and you got who's the circly, sparkly guy? Doctor
Uh, Doctor Strange.
Strange. Yeah.
Well, Stan Lee didn't like super powerful people. And one of the most powerful people in the Marvel Universe is in that brand new movie of Thunderbolts. And that's oh my gosh.
The
Let me
bad
think.
guy,
I
right?
can remember the what?
The bad guy.
Yeah, the bad guy, but he's also a good guy. Uh oh my gosh.
He's basically Superman, right? I mean, I know who you're talking about. I'm going to wait till you see if you get it.
Oh my gosh, it's killing me. And I even took a nap. I should be able to remember his name. Normally I always well, maybe if I can just remember the bad guy's name. The Void is he's multiple personality is
Yeah.
his problem. And so his bad guy side is just as good as his good guy side. And so he's really hard to beat. But when you come to power, he's awesome.
Yeah,
And then
he'll just throw you around like a rag doll. Doesn't matter who you are.
yeah, the Sentry.
Yep, you got it.
Um yeah, I like the Sentry because like he had Doctor Strange basically erase all of his memories, and he's basically an immortal guy living in downtown New York somewhere, like in Brooklyn, cooking pizzas all day long and then going home and living a normal life until like a monster steps on him and he doesn't die. He's just fun.
June says everyone else goes out on patrol looking for trouble. Superman shows up in time to save the cat. Love it.
Superman is I think his best quality is his alignment is so awesome. He's like so in Dungeons and Dragons, you'd call him chaotic good because he's wait,
No,
is he
lawful good.
no chaotic good might kill people for good.
Yeah, lawful
So
good.
lawful good. But he's the ultimate. He's always a good guy. That's why I didn't used to like uh Daredevil because he used to be so
Yeah, that's what they had.
nice.
That's what they had a problem
Oops.
with the Cavill's characters because he was a little bit more dark.
I
Like
liked him.
everybody's like he would never have killed Zod. You know.
Well, I'm here's something else bad about me, but I normally get kind of depressed that they always hire British actors to play all the American roles for superheroes. But Cavill is amazing, you know? And most of these guys, Loki is amazing. And uh the guy that plays Spider-Man now, the kid, he's amazing. You know, Christian Bale was an amazing Batman. But in
I
that
don't know
first
that.
Batman movie, the whole cast is British. Even the 12-year-old, or there's not a 12, there's like a 9-year-old kid that says, "Are you Batman?"
Yeah, that's
And I
the
went,
kid
"What?" From
from
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Yeah.
Even the guy had to even hire British kids to play Americans. That's embarrassing. Ah!
I don't
Oh
know
well.
that. Oh, one of those actors then went right out of my head.
British guy?
Yeah, I don't think he is though. Like, maybe he is. I guess I'd have to look him up. The Batman. I'm Batman. That guy, Christian Bale. I think he might be American, but maybe not. Because now that I'm
Ask
thinking
Oinky.
about it,
She'll know.
Oinky, what nationality is I'm Batman. Christian Bale?
You're pretty good at that.
Melvin bringing in Luke Cage. Yeah, as a B-roll player, he's great.
Oh man, I love Luke Cage.
Yeah, but he's
Man,
always
those
been a B, like a sub, like a,
yeah,
not
but
a
for TV
superhero.
shows,
He's like the guys that superheroes beat up on. One
but for
more.
TV shows, he is fantastic.
Yeah, I
That
really
that
dug
TV series is amazing.
him, and I like the
Jessica
way they
Jones,
did. What's the girl's name?
Jessica Jones.
Yeah, she's super strong and all that stuff, but she can get her ass kicked from time to time.
Yeah. The one person I didn't care for too much in that series
Hell
was
is English.
the guy who played and the Daredevil dude's English too, and I like him. So it makes me depressed that all of the American heroes are got up by the Brits, but darn it, they do a good job.
Well,
And
you know,
like Harvey or Tom Harvey Venom. That dude's one of my favorite actors, and he actually even played an Australian. I mean, they never get anybody to play an Australian except for an Australian, and he played Mad Max.
yeah, that's right. And then you
Well, I
got
guess
you got
Furiosa, I think she's British too.
um, Hemsworth is not British, but he's an Aussie.
Oh, oh my gosh, he was in the Furiosa movie, and you guys, if you want to see a good movie, watch Furiosa. Nobody went and saw it at the movies, and they're probably never going to do another Mad Max movie because of it. It's a fantastic movie. And Chris Helmsworth does his best acting he's ever done in his life. Oh my gosh. It's amazing.
Yeah, and they really buggered up his face too with all that. You couldn't even tell that it was him. I mean, you could tell, but
Yeah, with the prosthetic nose.
yeah.
So how's it coming?
I mean, it looks
It
good
has
so
so
far.
many ins and outs. It takes a long time to paint. Are you gonna
You
have a
might
show
have to,
tonight?
you might have to dip it. I don't know.
No, because I got to paint the other stuff a different color.
I have to.
This isn't
I
a
was
rock.
waiting to see if Skip was going to answer, but he said he wasn't sure because he has to be up in the morning. But
Oh, bummer.
I don't
That's
know if
the
that
worst
means
thing
yes
about
or
me
no.
starting late.
So I don't know if you heard, and I don't know that it's going to change your situation. But KG Tropicals is moving to Fridays.
Oh, that's great for
Well,
Foxy.
yeah. I don't know if Jason and Joanna will move into like the 7 o'clock slot or not, or if they like where they're at. But
They probably like it. And the
I
reasoning for
mean,
their move is totally a great reason, in my opinion, for them to have moved from Wednesday to Thursday, even though it was on me.
yeah,
You know, I don't hate my friends, so I'm not going to be mad at them. I just have to move too. It's just the way if you're a shark in your waters eating seals and some killer whales come in, you better move or the killer whales are going to eat you while you're eating the seals.
right, right. Right on, June. She says, I like to watch all the movies I can. You never know if you're going to like it until you watch it.
Yeah, I want to see that F1. It sounds so incredibly loud. Every theater I've been next to it at the show, well, except for Jurassic Park, man, you could really hear it over the movie that I was watching.
Were you watching a bunch of comedies or something?
Actually, I saw two horrors, I guess, last week. I saw 28 Years Later, and it's like a kind of a brain teaser type, makes you think. And then I also saw that Meg, no, not Meg, Megan, the computer girl.
Yeah.
I saw her movie, and it was pretty cool because it was in the same theater, so I didn't even have to move. It was like watching a double feature. I did that before the show last week. I did that on Thursday, and then I came home, and that's the nice thing about us starting a little later is now I can see a later movie too. Thursdays have always been, or used to be traditionally my movie night that I would go see movies.
Uh, Cat House, I'm not sure
Uh,
what you're talking about, son. He says, but seeing the panties versus just the lines, what is worse? I don't know. Then he says, I won't be eating seals, so I don't, so I think I'm good. I like it. Oh, I read that one already. Big Steve says, KG Tropical still streams. Haven't heard their name in forever. Yeah, they never stopped. Well, they did stop for a minute. It
well,
was
you're
quite
probably watching.
unfortunate how unsuccessful Furiosa was.
Oh, it was so unfortunate because really, I love the movie. I should probably buy the CD, but just like June said, I don't even own a machine right now that can play all these things. But to be honest, my TV's not even running right now. I'm redoing my room, and I'm going to make it so the TV is in my bedroom. because I never sit in my living room and watch TV because fish tank lights all reflect off the TV and make big squares across it. And it's like, I feel guilty turning off fish tank lights just to watch a show in comfort. You know what I mean?
June says, I never thought much about what I wore until my kids started to comment. Apparently, I do care what people think.
Well, you only care about what they think.
Wasn't there another movie called Megan?
There was the first one.
No, no. What
You're
was the
thinking the
Arnold
Meg.
Schwarzenegger? Arnold Schwarzenegger did one where he was he's old, so I mean, he was in his 60s probably, and his daughter was turning into a zombie,
Oh,
and he was
well,
fighting, trying to find the cure or whatever before she was, couldn't be brought back. I thought that was Megan.
holy cow.
Never saw it because it never came out to the Maggie. That's what it was. Thank you, Zenny.
Zenny is, she said she'd never eat a seal. She's more of like an octopus that would eat the king crabs and the starfish. And I'm
Zenny,
saying
are
that
you a
because
you're a seafood fan, a king crab fan? I think I remember you saying that you was.
I had a dream a couple
I had
days
a
ago.
dream. I had a dream.
Yeah, and it was, well, it was
Yeah.
I had to get up early to see this Jurassic Park movie, so I dreamt about my sister, and she asked if I wanted a sandwich, and I said, sure. And she says, do you want a seafood one or a chicken one? And I said, I don't care. And she gave me a seafood one, and I started to die. Like my throat was filling, and she says, oh, I forgot you're allergic to seafood. And I
Apparently,
was like,
so
I
did you.
forgot too. And then I woke up. The cat was probably sitting on my mouth. That's why I couldn't breathe or something. I don't know why I couldn't breathe. And if you guys are wondering where the cats are, there's Nico watching me from his perch. And baby cat is actually way on the floor. Let's see if you can see her. She's, oh, that paper towel rolls over. There she is. See her?
Oh, you can. Oh, I see her. Passed out.
Yep. Baby cat loves to be in this room because it's a hot room. Well, should we head over to your channel or do you want to just keep going?
Let's just keep going.
Okay, I'm going to paint this log brown. And then I'll do
Baby,
more touch up
do
later.
do 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 do, baby cat, do 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 do, baby cat, do 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 do, baby cat.
Dum dum dum. You know, one thing I am going to have to think about when I'm making these octopuses, they take about an hour longer at least on time for painting.
Aquariums maintained by Andy. Hello, hello. I'm curious as to what games Whip came up with. You know what? I never came up with any. I
When you
saw
were a
your
kid,
comment today. I posted a while back. I'm like, we're gonna have to make this my stream a little bit more interesting and have games or something. That seems to be the new trend. And he says, "Well, there's two games I won't play," and
oh,
I don't
what's
even know which
that?
two they were. I don't know. I
Maybe it
didn't
was
read my
whatever
own.
Cat House was talking about.
Octopus are fun to watch. Yep.
Oh, they're the best.
There's Barbara Jackson. Hey, Babs.
Hello, Barbara.
The one that was guess what's in Whip's pocket was worrisome.
God.
Xanadu says my cat is hiding outside in the bushes because I got a Great Dane foster dog Monday. Dog is okay with cats, but I guess the cat is not okay with the dog yet. Blanky says, Whip, what is the smallest size fish you've ever owned? That would currently it's these Blythe River rainbows. They are less than an inch.
Ooh.
And I don't know, I haven't even read up on them to see how big they actually get, but hopefully a lot bigger than this. They're going to get lost in the 90 when I move them up.
Do they reproduce?
I don't even know that.
Oh my gosh. So
I know very little about these things.
I learned something today. It was about my giant Synodontis. He's over a foot long. Well, sometimes he just kind of likes to swim all over the place, but most of the time he hides at night. But tonight he was like swimming and he was kind of doing this on the side, and I could see his mouth. And it is small. You could barely fit my pinky in his mouth. I couldn't believe how small of a mouth that fish had. So I've been so worried about making sure that these rainbow fish are big enough to be in that tank with them. I don't think they're going to have a problem.
Yeah, that's the thing about them. That's why yeah, you don't have to really worry. I mean, I suppose if they're really small fish, they can make it disappear, but
I just had no idea that they had that small of a mouth. I wonder, next time. Oh no, that won't work either, Fry. I
hey
was thinking
George,
maybe if I paint this thing brown before I put the clay on it.
Pep says they get about 5 inches. That's good to know. That's a pretty good size
Their
fish.
mouths?
No, the Blythe River rainbows. Because they're
That's
going
awesome.
in a 90, so if they stay little like this, they're going to get lost. George RB3 is here, sir. You can say hello to him.
Good day, George. I hope you're having a good one.
Xanadu, I put the name in chat there in case you were wanting to see it. The problem with octopus is I believe they only live like 2 or 3 years. Some of them only live 1 year.
But is that the same for the males or just the females?
I think it's all of them.
Because the females die after their first brood, but I don't know if the males do. Because the females stay their whole lives with their eggs and starve to death.
So octopus lifespan varies greatly by species, ranging as little as 6 months to a maximum of about 5 years. Most common species live for about 1 or 2 years. Larger species
Yeah.
like the Great Pacific octopus can live 3 to 5. The short lifespan is a consequence of their reproductive strategy known as whatever that word is, where they breed only once and then die. So even the males must.
Well, that's what I was saying. It's the girls that breed and stay on those eggs and die. I don't know if it's the males that do. It's kind of like are they kind of like uh praying mantis where the male mates with her and then she eats him?
The
The
lifspan
males
of
are
a
a lot
male
smaller.
octopus is typically quite short, often just a few months after mating.
Oh, well, at least they get to swim around and have fun afterwards.
Yeah.
They're probably like running around bragging about it while
And
the
then they
girls are
start
all just staying with their
feeling
babies.
bad.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
They're
feel
like,
good.
I wish Martha would go out and on a date once in a while, but she just always stays home.
Andy has a question. I have a question. Where do eels be breeding?
Be breeding?
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if he was trying to be clever or if that was just a typo, but most of them breed in either brackish or saltwater, right? And then even the freshwater ones, if you're talking true eels, they even the freshwater ones go out to the sea and trying to be funny. Yeah, I that's how I read it, but I hate to try to guess anymore. People get all mad.
Well, he's probably mad that you didn't get his joke.
Yeah, so
Wait,
now he's bad at that. Um, as far as I know, no one has ever seen eels breed. Oh, I bet you they have. Most of the time, like a lot of the eels we call eels aren't really eels. They're like the fire eel is just the elongated fish. The electric eel is a knife fish. Oinky, I don't
fish
know.
are
I, I
fish.
have no idea how to tell. She's asking how if my fire eel is a male or a female. I don't know, but I have no idea.
I know Beischer, but I don't know eels. I had an eel do something really bad to me in my life, and I've always been against eels ever since, and I've not paid much attention to them. Like literally, this is how much I don't like eels. I was helping her with all the fish that she'd bought in the auction, and I looked at one, I went, oh my God, this is an eel. It's her fish, she can have whatever she wants. But
Right.
she bought a fire eel, and I'm like, oh, no, not an eel.
Gills to guard Nathan. What he has is an elongated fish. All those Asian species are not true eels. So yeah, they're probably all fresh.
I'm gonna have to do a lot of touch up because I hit a lot of the black spots with brown paint.
Whoops.
But I think this thing's gonna be freaking awesome. What do you think about these black legs?
Ooh, looking sexy. You should put that in your front window.
Heck yeah.
I think there's one American eel. It's called the American eel. Um, but even that one, it lives in fresh water most of its life, but it breeds in the salt.
I'm really impressed with your eel knowledge.
I was very interested in getting one, but I don't want to have to do brackish or salt.
Well, can't you just keep them in fresh?
Yeah, I mean, there's that one that will definitely live its whole life.
Well, I'm just thinking, no, if you don't want it, if you don't care if it doesn't breed.
Yeah, I don't care. And you can get them fairly cheap because they're used as bait.
Oh, bet that makes Oinky mad too.
I don't
Oh,
like trying to say the scientific names, but this is what they're called. There's an Asian version too that predatory fins had a few of.
Oh, you really put a lot of time into these eels, Whip.
I wanted one really, really bad. Is Foxy still here, Pep? I I got an email, Facebook. I am asking if I happen to have one or if I'm willing to part with it. A Lys Lysopinus. Lusopinus?
Elusus apinus.
I don't know what that is. I don't believe I have one unless that's something I have that goes by a different name.
Oh
Let me
gosh.
punch that into the old Google machine.
How do I know what it is? I know the name.
All right, it's a catfish.
Oops.
So okay, so I have the Petricola. It looks like they are very
Oh,
similar.
yeah, that's like the cuckoo or one of the cuckoos.
Yeah, the Lusopinus is and the Petricola are both small catfish from Lake Tanganyika, often confused due to their similar appearance.
Yep.
Lusopinus, previously known as dwarf Petricola, is generally smaller, reaching around 4 inches, while the Petricola can grow to 5 or 6 inches. Huh.
Oh gosh.
Well,
Well, my petricolas are only about 4 inches.
yeah, so maybe we have Lusopinus.
Yeah. And both, I have two different, like both guys I bought my herds from, or my herd from, they was selling a baby. So I got like 5 or 6 from one guy and 5 or 6 from the other guy. And they were from, one was from Tennessee, one was from Cincinnati. So I figure, good chance of DNA being mixed up. And they both listed them as Petricola.
So Alishon says Lusopinus are no longer a valid name. They are all Petricola.
Oh,
Well, then I don't know what I've got. I've got a 4 inch Petricola. That's what it was. That's what Jason from Primetime told me it was. Um, until I am proven wrong or it's different, that's what I'm going to go with. Because I got the Petricola in that tank that they bred, and then I've got the cuckoo in this one, which I can't remember the name of that one anymore.
I had to go back on my craft eds and find the episode where I made the Petricola house or breeding thing and do that again. Because, I mean, I don't know. Has anybody here seen my Petricola craft breeding cave?
I don't think.
Maybe it'd probably cost 3 times as much because PVC costs so much more now, but I could make one and maybe I could give it away or something or sell. Maybe I'll sell it at the Clash or something. I don't know. Uh, you guys could decide. But mine is a little bit of two different breeders of them. Um, I copied it from Mitch Broomer and uh, LRB. So kind of have like what I like of both of theirs. There we go. I'm gonna wrap up the brushes so that I can wash them when we're done. Well, Whip, what do you say we go 11 more minutes and we call it a night?
That sounds good to me. I have the multipunctatus. That's the other one I have. I have the multipunctatus and then the Petricola.
Oh gosh. I needed that water. So did we ever say what you're doing for the 4th of July?
I'm just going over to my sister's place and we're going to have some food. Maybe watch the neighbors light off a bunch of fireworks.
I may try to get up early because my dad asked if I would go with him over to the other side of there's a city right next to us called Soddy Daisy. And it's basically two towns. One was Soddy and one was Daisy. And they formed and turned into Soddy Daisy.
Hey,
But
Vino.
they're having an old fashioned car show. And he was hoping I would go with him and look at the old fashioned cars in the morning.
That sounds fun.
Yep. He likes it when they rev their engines. It'll
Anyways,
bring
we
a
need
tear
a
to his
couple
eye.
adult male Oh, so you do need petricola. I have 4 females that give eggs a lot, but don't have males. I wouldn't even know how to tell them apart. I have no idea. I mean, I
You
have
know, I've
five adults and about 400,000 babies. I could, I don't know. I can
right
bring you
now I have
a
about
6-pack.
20 adults and no babies because I haven't bred any for a while and they just are eating their babies and eggs, I'm thinking. Um but yeah, how do you know what's a male and a female petricola, I wonder?
Yeah, I have no idea. Winky says, "Have you ever kept the freshwater butterfly fish? Were they ever more popular than they are now?" Back in the 80s, they were. You could pick them up at any pet store. You're talking about the ones that kind of look like a arowana, like a miniature arowana, right? I mean, not really, but they kind of had that same look with the
Yeah, they're neat. They they have the same trap jaw. They're cousins of the arowana.
right.
They're also known as the upside down fish.
No, that's a different fish because those fish
Isn't it?
actually go swim upside down, right? Whereas the butterfly fish is just got its back right up against the surface of the water.
Yeah. It's looking I thought they were also known as upside down fish.
I don't think, but I could be wrong. They were popular 40 years ago, so
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Well,
Hey,
I'll
Jenna.
say I have never had one because they're aggressive. And I just didn't want to have a tank with 3 of those guys in it and nothing else. I mean, you could have those guys in
Jeff, that's what I was thinking. I
Cory
can bring
cat.
like a 6-pack up.
Who wait, did Mary just say she's thinking about crab now with melted butter?
That was Zenny earlier. I don't know how far back you are. Oh yeah, she did
She
too.
and
King
Zen.
crab with milk. Yeah.
Yeah, oh man. You know, I haven't had real crab in forever, but I like getting that fake crab and dipping it in melted butter.
It all tastes pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's not the same thing, but you know what? It's what I can afford. Otherwise, I get no crab if I don't get the fake crab. But I like it.
Well,
I just do.
we go to there's a chain restaurant that is in town that's called
Cajun.
Storm and Crab. And what they do is you order like, I mean, you have your choices. There's like 20 different choices. What I do is I get the king crab. It's a pound and a half. Actually, I think it's a pound, and then I add a half pound. And then you get your choice of like, I don't know, 5 other things like clams and oysters and whatever you want to put. They have like a list of things, and I usually trade out. One of the things in my meal is crawdads, and I have not been able to figure out how to eat a crawdad to save my life.
Yeah.
So I just end up wasting those. So what I do is I swap it out for one of the other. They've got like 3 different types of clams, and then they put it in this giant thick plastic bag with just top it off with melted butter, shake it all up, and then dump it into this pan. It's got like a 2-inch lip on it. It's like for cakes or something. And they just upend this bag, and all your food is just right, right in the middle, and you go to town on it, and you
Well,
usually end up
Oinky and
with
I went
butter
to
all
one of
down
those
your
places.
arms. What?
Yeah. Oinky and I went to one of those places. I got the scallops and shrimp. I love scallops more than anything in the world. Scallops are my favorite. And I think Oinky got clams. Maybe clams and shrimp. But and it just shows that we're from 2 different places because I would never think of getting clams in a shell.
Oh no, I get them all the time. Yeah.
I just never think about it. But I mean, like, I like chicken wings on a boned chicken wings. So I'm eating something hard around the meat with those.
I'm not going there. Jenna, I would assume they're getting them from down by you somewhere, but I'm not going to put any money on it. Mikey wants to know, why is alligator meat just as expensive in Florida as it is in New York? That is a fantastic question that I would like to get an answer to.
I bet you it's tourism. They're taking advantage of people coming to Florida wanting to eat the meat, is my bet. I don't know, but that's what I'm betting.
Mary likes the way Synodonis
Seville Steve says
swim
you got to be
crazy.
careful with some pieces or some scallops because he says it's grouper. Well,
Yeah.
I had a friend that was a professional fisherman in the Gulf, and he said whenever there was like a bad scallop season, they would catch the rays and they would use stingray meat. And he said that
Well,
stingray meat tastes just like,
punch it out in like little circles.
I guess. And he says it tastes just like scallops. It's like, man, I'd like to have a stingray steak with butter.
And Nathan says he thinks they use sole, whatever sole is. That a stingray?
I don't know. Where's my phone? Did I not bring my phone in here?
Foxy says Zen will be between me and Dee Dee for the clash. And Zenny says, I thought we were friends. And Foxy says, we are. That's why you'll be in the middle.
Let me see. How do you spell soul?
SOLE.
SOLE? Fish. I'm going to write fish. They wanted to give me soul food. Oh, it's the fish with no, the 2-eyed, the
Yeah, like a
what are they
halibut.
called? Halibut.
Big Steve says stingray are nothing like scallops, completely different texture. People may have done that as an easy way to clean and eat stingray, but nobody would be fooled.
Oh. Oh well. Then he told me that he did it or they did it that way, but I've never had it that way, so I'm going to take his word.
Oh,
He
I'm
didn't
sure
even
I've
say
been
that
fooled.
he didn't even say that's how they cut it. He said that they would just catch them and sell them to the people for that purpose, but
Alishon says sole is a flat fish, not cheap.
ooh.
And then Denny says, I like monkfish. Isn't that the one that's all gross? Like all slimy?
Well, let's see what a monkfish looks like.
You typed some things.
What does a monkfish look like? Oh, they're really ugly. They look like one of those what are
Ugh.
the gooberhead? Wait, what's the globfish? Blobfish. They almost look like a blobfish
Yeah, a little bit.
or an angler. Maybe they're half angler, half blob. Gross. I think Oinky's dad caught the biggest halibut of the year like 2 years ago fishing
Like
in
ever in the
New
history of.
York.
Oh,
In New York. So that's cool.
Zen says they're much prettier at their normal temperature. Pressure.
Oh,
So
so
you,
they are
you
like a blob.
you stick them down deeper, and they turn into Chris Hemsworth. Andy
Kind of
says,
like
look up
drinking a couple of
frogfish.
beers. I have a short on frogfish. Oh, Nico's like completely passed out now.
Last time I saw him, he was up there on that table behind you, to your left.
Yeah, now he's waiting at the door for me to get done.
That
Can you
doesn't
see
look
him?
passed out. He doesn't look passed out. He looks like he's standing.
He's laying on a pillow in the chair.
Oh, I'm looking at the wrong cat.
Oh, did I go
Yeah,
far enough?
yeah. No, I see him now.
You guys get to see in my dirty room. We keep extra chairs in here. So, like at Christmas and stuff, we start bringing these chairs all into the living room for people to sit. But otherwise, we don't want to clutter up our living room for people that aren't here but 4 times a year.
Makes sense to me.
Oh my gosh, we're 2 minutes over. We need
Yeah,
to
you
thank
did.
some people. First thing we got to thank is the amazing Whip. Because without Whip's abilities today, we wouldn't have had a show. So thank you, Whip, for coming on the show today. You were
It would have been.
great.
It would have been quiet for sure.
Yeah. Or you guys would accidentally hear what goes on in my mind because I would just talk to myself. And then I'd like to thank all my monitors, all my moderators. You guys were all amazing today. You guys kept up with all the questions and knocked all the people that were fighting out because I didn't see any of it. So thank you guys so much. Thank you for the super chat, Sean. That was super awesome. Thank you, members, for being a member to my show. I don't offer enough to you guys. If anybody can figure out something better, let me know, and maybe I'll try to do something. And I hope everybody has a wonderful 4th of July tomorrow because that's going to be fun. Oh, and like I say, I think I'm going to maybe have a Jurassic 4th of July.
I think I might too.
But, oh, that's awesome. Okay, guys, well, we'll catch y'all on the flip side.